Welcome back, grade 5. Adding and subtracting fractions. Recap. Find in the simplest form 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3 equals what? We have here two fractions with the same denominator. So how can we add? We studied before, just we write the same denominator, which is 3, and add the two numerators. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So the answer it will be 2 over 3. By the same way, we have here 3 over 4 plus 1 over 4. Keep the same denominator, which is 4, and add 3 plus 1 equals 4. But we studied before, when we write a fraction, we must write it in the simplest form. 4 over 4 equals what? Equals 1. 5 over 7 minus 1 over 7. By the same way, keep the same denominator, which is 7, and 5 minus 1, it will be 4. And this fraction 4 over 7 in the simplest form. 3 over 4 minus 1 over 4 equals, we keep the same denominator, which is 4, and the 3 minus 1 equals 2. 2 over 4, there is a common factor between 2 and 4, which is 2. So we can simplify now. 2 divided by 2 equals 1, and 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So the fraction will be 1 over 2, 1/2 in the simplest form. 20 over 21 minus 1 over 21. Keep the same denominator, which is 21, and the 20 minus 1, it will be 19. 19 over 21 is in the simplest form. 3 over 8 plus 1 over 8. We keep the same denominator, which is 8, and the 3 plus 1 equals 4. 4 over 8 is not in the simplest form. We can divide by 4, which is the common factor between 4 and 8. Divided by 4 equals 1, divided by 4 equals 2, so it will be 1/2. The simplest form. Example, find in the simplest form 1 over 2 plus 3 over 4. The two fractions here have different denominators. Okay, so the first step is keep the same denominator, and we can add or subtract as we studied before. We have here 2, we have here 4. So how can we make 2 4? Just multiply the first fraction by 2. When multiplying 1 over 2 by 2, so we write here multiplying by 2. So 1/2, it will be 2 equals 2 over 4 plus 3 over 4. 2 over 4 plus 3 over 4, keep the same denominator, which is 4, and 2 plus 3, it will be 5. 5 over 4 is improper fraction. We can write it as a mixed number. 5 divided by 4, it will be 1, and 1 times 4, it will be 4. The remainder will be 1 over 4. So we can write the fraction 5 over 4 as 1 and 1 over 4. 2 over 3 plus 1 over 6. How can we make 3 6? By multiplying by 2. So the fraction 2 over 3, it will be 4 over 6 plus 1 over 6 equals 5 over 6. 3 over 7 plus 1 over 5. We have here 7, we have here 5. If we have 7 and 5 here, okay, are prime numbers. Just we will find a number is divisible by 7 and 5, which is the LCD of the two fractions, 3 over 7 and 1 over 5. So the LCD here of the two fractions, it will be 35. We can find it by multiplying, just multiply 7 by 5. So we will keep the same denominator to be 35. How can we make 7 35? Just multiply 7 by 5. So we multiply the two terms of the fraction by 5, and multiply the second by 7 by the same way. So the first fraction will be 15 over 35 plus 7 over 35 equals We will keep the same denominator, which is 35, and add the two numerators. 15 plus 7 equals what? Equals 22. So the answer is 22 over 35, and this fraction is in the simplest form because no common factors between the two terms of the fraction. Number 4, 5 over 6 minus 1 over 2. The LCD is very easy to determine, which is 6. How can you make 6 multiplying by 3? So it will be 5 over 6 minus 3 over 6. 5 minus 3, it will be 2 over 6. And 2 over 6 is not in the simplest form. It will be 1 over 3 divide by 2, the two terms of the fraction. 9 over 11 minus 5 over 22. We can make 11 22 by multiplying by 2. So the first fraction will be 18 over 22 minus 5 over 22 equals 13 over 22 in the simplest form. 7 over 10 minus 1 over 4. We can't make 10 4, we can't make 4 10. But we have here 10, we have here 4. The LCD is what? Or the LCM of the two denominator is what? Is 40. So we can multiply the second fraction by 10 and multiply the first by 4. Okay. So we can multiply, as a rule, we can multiply the first fraction by the denominator of the second one and multiply the second fraction by the denominator of the first one. So the first fraction will be 28 over 40 minus 10 over 40. We have here keep the same denominator, which is 40, and 28 minus 10, it will be 18. Look here, 18 over, this is 18 over 40 is not in the simplest form because we have here a common factor between 18 and 40, which is 2. We can divide here by 2. 18 divided by 2, it will be 9, and 40 divided by 2, it will be 20. So the simplest form here will be 9 over 20. We have here, we can make here a remark. Pay attention. If we take the example number 3 over 7 plus 1 over 5. 3 over 7 plus 1 over 5. We can find a rule. How can we add two fractions in another way? Just we will write big fraction line and multiply the two denominators, which is 7 and 5. 7 by 5 equals 35, and make cross multiplication. 3 times 5, it will be 15, plus 1 times 7, or 7 times 1 equals 7. So 15 plus 7, it will be 22 over 35. Look here, the same answer. Okay, another example, if we have 3 over 4 minus 1 over 2, we can multiply the two denominators. 4 times 2, it will be 8, and make cross multiplication. 3 by 2, it will be 6, minus 4 times 1, it will be 4. 6 minus 4, it will be 2 over 8. 2 over 8 is not in the simplest form, so it will be divided by 2 equals 1, divided by 2 equals 4. So in the simplest form, it will be 1 over 4. So, as a rule, if we have two fractions, a over b and c over d, two fractions, we can make a rule to add the two fractions. How? Just we will multiply the two denominators, which is b and d. Add the new denominator, which is bd, b times d. okay, and multiply the numerator of the first by the denominator of the second. So it will be AD or A times D plus the numerator of the second by the denominator of the first, which is CD, C times D. We can make it here again, A over B plus C over D. Just we will multiply B by D, so it will B times D, and make cross multiplication. A times D, it will be AD, plus C times B, it will be CB as a rule. And don't forget to put the fraction in the simplest form after we finished adding or subtracting. Thank you.